to another episode of Cooking with the Cool Dad. Sorry, I got pasta on already, which we all know how to make pasta, so I won't get too hard into that. But it goes along with what we're making tonight. So, just trying to keep an eye on that while I'm working here. I decided that after last week's chicken parm, I actually liked that thin sliced chicken they had at Target. It was tasty, it was good, it came out really well, it cooked nicely. I was pretty impressed. So I started looking around. I said, there's got to be something else I can make with that, because I've got a few dishes. I always have a few ideas percolating for future videos, and so I was trying to figure out what to make, and I said, I had the perfect idea. Something that we love to order when we go out to an Italian restaurant that is not super difficult to make, really, at home, and something that's super tasty, has a lot of interesting ingredients, and it's fun to make. So, without any further ado, we got chicken francaise for tonight, or chicken francaise, or chicken francaise, depending on where you're from, how you pronounce it. It's essentially the Italian. It's like saying French chicken in Italian. What are you going to do? So, give me 1 second. I'm going to stir the pot a little bit in a way that won't get me in trouble. There we go. Keeping your pasta moving is always good when it's cooking. Okay. So, chicken francaise, it's a nice, citrusy, light, not too heavy kind of meal. Something that's good and pairs well with a wine if you want to have something a little fancy. I'll get into that, don't worry. And literally, I got the big bottle because, hey, why not? So, yeah, it's just one of those fun meals to make. It's fairly simple to make. I know I already said that. I'm saying it's fairly simple, but it's good. And it's something you can enjoy together as a family. So, without further ado, because I know this is what you're all waiting for, let's drop down and start making this. See you down below. Okay, now, while I stir the pasta yet again, actually, cut all this out because I think the pasta's done. Check that. Yeah, piece. Okay, here we go. So what we're going to start with is we have our chicken. Again, I got the thin sliced chicken that they offer at Target, which we were very surprised and impressed with. So if you can't buy thin sliced chicken, you can always either slice your chicken breasts thin, like slice a thinner version of them, or you can just beat them. Either one works. What you're going to start with is I have flour here with Italian seasoned breadcrumbs in it. And we're just going to kind of dredge it, pat it, make sure it's covered. You don't have to beat it into it, but just make sure that both sides are well covered. Then we're going to move on to the egg. And in the pan over here, I have some extra virgin olive oil that's come up to temperature. You want it to be nice and warm. I did forget to get a fork out for this. So we've done the breading. Make sure both sides are covered with egg. There we go. And it's going to go right into the pan. Now you don't need to have like a pan full of oil because we're not deep frying these. We're just sort of pan frying them. Next one goes into the flour. And again, just making sure that it's well coated. Now, once they're in the oil, they only need to be there for just a couple minutes per side. You are going to want to flip them. This is not necessarily where they're getting their full cooking. This is mostly cooking them. The rest of the cooking will be done a little bit later on. So we've got 2 in there. Alexa, stop. I'm going to let those sit for a minute. I'm going to actually do the rest of what I got here, and then we'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, I know I said I'd be back when I was done, and I'm nowhere near done yet, but I want to show you guys something. When they come out, you want that nice kind of starting to get gold look to them. You can see in the pan, that's where we're at here. That's where you really want to be for these when you pull them out. And like I said, we're going to do more cooking with them in a little bit. But for now, that's where we're at. So I'm going to do some more of these, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so last piece of chicken here going in the pan. Two quick things. One, make sure that each piece of chicken is fully coated in egg before it goes in the pan. Two, this is messy. It is what it is. And I did 12 pieces of chicken, and I have used 6 eggs for that. That's how it worked out. What I did is I added, when I was running out of egg, I would add a little bit more. I also added another probably tablespoon of oil to my pan. I just splashed some in there. Let's be honest. We all know I'm not big on measuring cups, unless I have to be. But you do want to end with a little bit in there. So I'm just adding another splash here. There we go. Like I said, a splash. The Italian lubricant. I have seen somebody make the comment, put so much, put enough oil in there that the U.S. wants to invade it. We're not doing that much. There we go. Okay, so as I'm finishing up this last one, we're going to put these aside. I'm going to do a little bit of quick cleanup here to make my area easier to work with, and I'll be right back with y'all showing you how to prep the sauce to finish cooking the chicken. So I'll see you guys back over here in a couple minutes. Okay, let's get ready to make some sauce. First thing we're going to do is we got some fresh garlic cloves here. We're just going to dice them up nice and tiny, nice and thin-ish. You want them, you don't want to have like major chunk. I mean, I like garlic, but let's face it, there's limits. So I'm just going to literally cut these up in very small pieces to start with. And since there's no such thing as too much garlic, I just grabbed a handful of them. If you don't like to peel garlic, you can find fresh peeled garlic at most decent local grocery stores. I hate peeling garlic. That's just being honest. To me, it is the biggest pain in the tuchus because all these life hacks that are supposed to make it easy, yeah, I can never get those figured out. If I come up with a way to do it, though, I will be sure to make a video about it so you guys can know about it. If you guys have suggestions for things you'd like to see me make, let's be realistic. Don't give me anything too crazy. Although, honestly, I do like a challenge. So, if you have ideas of things you'd like me to see me make on these videos, drop a comment down below. Or you can email me at thecooldad@mail.com. I do read all the comments. I do read all my mail. Now, this knife doesn't work as well for that. I'm going to grab a different knife. This one works better for rocking. And you're just going to kind of rock through and get all your pieces down nice and tiny, because that way you get more of the flavor into the sauce. You're not getting a big chunk of garlic in your mouth while you're trying to eat your chicken francaise. And this is semi-effective, but I'm not rushing here. Actually, we're very Italian today. Okay. Now you notice as I go, I lose a piece here and there. That's the other reason why I don't mind putting a little extra in. You just want to basically use your knife, scrape it back together. Carefully clean it off the knife. Do not cut your finger off. That'll ruin your entire dinner. Trust me on this. Significant injuries to your digits can cause a hell of a time when it comes to meals, especially family meals. One of these days I'll tell you a story about my dad at table saw and Thanksgiving dinner. Sounds more interesting than it really was, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, so we have our garlic. Now we're also going to take a lemon. And since these are all going in the pan together, I don't care about using the same knife. It's not a big deal. I'm literally just going to slice the ends off. And because I'm making 12 pieces of chicken, I'm using a full lemon for this portion of it, and a full lemon for the next portion of lemon, which we'll get to momentarily. Literally just going to cut the lemon up in slices. You want fairly thin slices. You don't want them too thick. Let's see, that was too thick. There we go. Try to keep it whole slices, but we know how that goes. And that's the thing. I always try to tell people, I said, these videos, these are real life. This is not some studio where everything's set up and prepared for me perfectly. It's real life. And you know what? That's, I think, part of the reason why I want to show you that you too can do this at home. Why is that knife not cutting the way I like it? I think somebody borrowed my knife and oh, that's the way it should be. Yeah, I'd have to run that through the sharpener later. Somebody was cutting what they shouldn't ought to have been. And be careful, like I said, don't cut your finger. Okay, I got my slices here. I'm going to ditch my lemon butts right in the trash can. Now, I'm going to check all my slices here. I got lemon seeds. We're actually just going to pop those right out. Oops, there it goes. You can let them fall on the cutting board for now. I'll come back for those momentarily. So I'm going to check all your slices. Make sure there's no seeds in there. If there is, just pop them right out. This will save you time later because it's easier to pop the lemon seeds, son of a gun, out of the slices than it is to, try and fish them out of your pan. Okay, it looks like we got all of our seeds out. Okay, excellent. Now I'm just going to kind of scoop these off the board onto my counter. They'll get cleaned up later. Okay, so I might as well do this while we're at it too. I'm going to take my other lemon, just literally cut it straight in half, and you can use any type of juicer you'd like. I just happen to have this style of juicer, and we're going to press that on there and twist. And you really just want to jam it on there. You want to just like squeeze that lemon for all it's worth. You want to get all the juice out of there. When you're done, pull it up, give it a little squeeze, see if there's anything left. Bam. Round two. Boy! Slam it on there and just twist it. Now, if you had this dish before, you know there's a significant citrus portion to it, and this is where it comes from. It's winter time in central New York, and my hands are noticing it. Let me tell you, this is when I hate working with citrus. Make sure it's, yep, that is everything. So, we have our lemons cut up. We have our garlic diced up. We have our lemon juice. We have chicken broth. This is a 32-ounce carton. I pulled off 4 ounces on the side, so I have 28 ounces in there. Give me just a minute. We're going to change our camera angle, come right back down, and get to making our sauce. Okay, we've got our pan back on the heat. This is the same pan we cooked the chicken in. We have not cleaned it or wiped it out. We're going to start by popping in our lemons. We want to kind of just get them warmed up and start to soften and really just kind of juice up for you. There we go. Ooh, that smells good. It's going to smell better in a minute. Now, you want to kind of make sure, give them a minute or two to start heating up and cooking. Then what we're going to do is we're going to flip them over. There we go. Booyah. Let's see. You never realize how hard it is to flip lemons in a frying pan until you try it. But the outcome will be 100% worth it. Okay. Okay, so while those are starting to cook, I'm going to add my garlic. There we go. Ooh. The mix on that are amazing. Just saying. I'm not singing, just saying. Let me put this over here out of the way. Now, one thing I did forget to mention in the prep, you want to take equal amounts of butter at room temperature and flour and mix them together. This will come into play shortly. I have, because I'm doing 12 pieces, I have 4 tablespoons of butter and 4 tablespoons of flour here, mushed in together. Now we're going to let this sit for a minute and really let the flavors start to come together and break down. Another minute or so. This is one of the dishes that when Mrs. Cool Dad and I like to go out to eat at some of our local Italian restaurants, we do love to order this. It's just a really nice, even on pasta, fairly light dish, and that's one of the reasons we like it. Now, I'm going to add my lemon juice. I made sure I got all the pits out of there. And we're adding, for this recipe, 1 cup of white wine. Now, one thing I will tell you, if you're going to pick out a white wine, find one that you're going to enjoy drinking so you don't waste a bottle of wine. Or keep it around for cooking. And I generally do not use cooking wine for things like this because I find that the flavor's not quite the same. In our case, I went with for the whites, you want to go with either a Chardonnay or a Sauvignon Blanc. I went with a Sauvignon Blanc because, because it has more of a citrus flavor to it. It has that citrus notes to it. And being as we've got the lemons here, I figured that would be an excellent companion to it. Plus, I like it. Chardonnay tends to be a little dry for my personal taste, so this was a nice one that Mrs. Cool Dad and I can enjoy with our dinner, after dinner, and probably tomorrow too, because if I drink all that tonight, yeah, it'll be a fun day getting up tomorrow. But, salud. That is tasty. So now we're going to let this kind of come up to a nice little simmer with our white wine and our lemons in here. And I'll be right back once that's simmered for a couple minutes. Okay, our sauce as it stands so far has been simmering for a couple minutes now. And to this we will add our chicken broth. And again, because the amount I'm doing 28 ounces of broth. I know there's got to be an easier way to pour this. Oh, hey, look at that. If you hold it with the spout on top, it pours better. Now, obviously, this is taking the temperature back down again. There we go. So it's going to take a couple minutes to come back up. Really? Okay, there we go. It's like the never-ending box of broth. What I am going to do, off camera, is pour those 4 ounces back in. Because I don't know if I'll need 4 ounces of chicken broth for anything, but I'll give it a couple days to see if I do. In this household, you honestly never know. Okay. Top on that. Boom. Now, we're going to let this come up to temperature. Once that comes back up to temperature, we'll add our butter and flour mix to help thicken it. And then we're going to simmer it down for a bit in order to thicken up the sauce to make it nice, not like soupy, but a little thinner than that. So it'll be a nice sauce. So once this warms up, we're ready to add the butter and flour mixture. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so our sauce is at a nice simmer right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add my butter and flour mixture to help thicken it up. Normally I don't like to put metal utensils in my non-stick pans, but some days you do what you gotta do. Ooh, that worked nicely. Get it all in there. Get in my pan! Okay, there we go. Now, just give that some gentle stirring. Ooh, I really wish I could send you guys the smell of this through the interwebs here, because this just smells amazing right now. So, I'm going to let this simmer down for probably about another 10 minutes or so. Once it thickens up a little bit more, we'll be right back around. We'll finish it up. See you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we've been letting this simmer for a bit. What we're going to do now is take our chicken, slowly add it back in. Now this sauce has thickened up a bit. I would ideally do this in a much larger pan if I had one, but I don't have one right now, so this is what we're doing. I'll fit as many of these as I can in here before it overflows. I may have to do this in 2 shifts. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to cover this and let it simmer for about 5 more minutes. When it's done, I'm going to pull these out, put the last few in, simmer those for about 5 minutes, and then we're good to go. So I will be back when we plate it up, show you the finished product, then we'll go up top for our closeout, and we'll have chicken francaise. See y'all in a few. Okay, so we're getting ready to plate up our first round here. I've been told by a certain Mrs. Cool Dad that she's ready to eat, so I need to have food ready. So instead of coming back when we're done with all of them, I'm going to come back now. Alexa, stop. I love that timer. Anyway, we are going to take, we have our pasta on our plate. Now you can do this with pasta, you can do this with just about anything you like. I've seen it done with veggies, pasta, you name it. We're going to plate these up. Dropping 3 on there. Now, let me get clear out some space here so I can get in there. Don't worry, I know I'm draining the sauce off of it, but that'll come back around in a minute. There. Okay. So, now, again, I would have liked to use a bigger pan, but you work with what you got, you know. I'm going to get some of the sauce. Make sure you get a lemon slice or 2 in there. Right over the top. Next, right over the top. Ooh, that one got some garlic. And yes, some of it did spill over. That happens. There, come on. I can do this. There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to finish, put the rest in to finish them up. And when they're all done, I'll see you up top for the closeout. See y'all then. Okay, everybody. So, that's chicken francaise or chicken francaise or chicken francesa. However you like to pronounce it. Let me see if I can get a good video. Yeah, lighting, you know. I already did have a bite. Yes, it is tasty. Yeah, this will be enjoyed. I've been given the thumbs up from the table, so well, as that citrus comes through. Again, a fairly straightforward, simple recipe, easy to prepare, good to get people together with. Bring them around the table, leave the electronics aside, and have some good time. Make those memories and open the conversations. Just a reminder, food is life, life is good. Let's eat some more. So I'm going to wrap this up so I can go sit down and eat mine too, because I'm hungry, it's tasty, and that's a good combination. So until next week, get your friends together, make some good food, create some memories, have some good times, and do your little part to start to change the world and make it all better. Until then, be kind to